everybody, this is Ginger in this Ginger Chat Show, and it's Friday, October 24th, and today it's raining. More of it's coming in. It's been a little bit windy, but it's in between cycles right now. They're expecting an atmospheric river to start hitting today. Um, which is going to mean a lot of water and a lot of rain. So, and the roads are already slick because previously it's been so dry, and of course you have oil buildup on the roads, and when it rains, whee, go flying off the road. So people need to slow down a little bit so you don't hydroplane and get out of control. Um, Trucks are having trouble too because you can only have so much handles. I'm sorry, handle so much load and weight, and so they gotta be careful there too. Anyway, I've heard a couple things and read a couple things on uh, the various news sources and what's going on with Taco Donnie. Um, he bullies everybody. You, me, smaller countries, and especially Venezuela, which right now he has sent a aircraft carrier to Venezuela. Why, I don't know. I think he just likes to bully. You know what? I think now the Pentagon needs to tell Trump no, but hell no. We're not going to follow your orders. You don't know what you're doing. In other words, they need to push back. Well, people say, well, he's commander in chief. I said, well, he sure doesn't act like one. He doesn't know how anything works. What part you guys don't get? He doesn't know how anything works. I'm talking to the maggots right now. He doesn't know how anything works. Okay? And a couple of days ago, he did total demolishing of the east wing of the White House. That's a no-no. Okay? That was put in there when Dolly Madison, when it was built during that time, and she used it as a laundry room for a short time. Okay? Well, they had to do something more than anything. The house was built, the White House was built in 1792, and it was finished in 1800 when the new president moved in. Okay? Well, a lot of it still wasn't quite finished yet, and so they had to improvise. Well, over the years, of course, if you read your history, over the years the White House was added on to, it was strengthened, it was this, especially after World War II in the 1950s, when a very famous piano, part of the leg almost fell through to President Truman's daughter's sitting room. Luckily, she wasn't in there. She was on some kind of tour or something, and on behalf of her dad. And when he heard the sound, it's like, what's going on? And so he goes, checks it out. The piano was precariously hanging on by its legs from the floor to her sitting room below. So they decided, yeah, we need to get things checked out on the building. So they did some checking, found some termites, found some, because the house was built made of wood and other materials that were not as strong. And of course, they had suffered a fire during the War of 1812. The British tried burning it down, burned down pretty much of it, and all they left was standing with the walls. Well, the White House was rebuilt, and of course, years later, things start adding up to the building's age more than anything. And so they decided to, yeah, let's got it and put stronger materials like steel girders and steel joists and everything else to make everything stronger in the building, which they did. Okay. Um, they decided to put the piano in the east room, which is on one floor. So they didn't have to worry about that. Um, but now Taco Donnie decided to tear the whole thing down without going through congressional approval. Okay. And people are pissed right now. Okay. Now, the one part that really kind of irks me and I can't understand is why is Congress not doing something about this? What is their damn problem? I know I've been saying it. But what is their problem? What are they afraid of? The guy's a bully. He's a nincompoop. He's an idiot. Okay? None of the previous presidents have done this. All they did was add to it, but they never tore anything. Well, exception of the uh, remodel and rebuild of the White House during the 50s. That was a given. Okay? Something needed to be done. Okay? But now, why do we have an idiot in the White House? He needs to be removed. He needs to be fired. He needs to be told in the face to be fired. And also, I read another article stating that Stephen Miller is behind all this too. Well, that guy needs to be removed. He's broken so many laws, not even funny. Okay? And I can very well understand why Stephen Miller's family disowned him. He wouldn't listen. Okay, I bet he was a brat when he was little. He should have been spanked more often, and Trump should have been spanked more often. What is it with people? Can't they see what Trump is doing? When people say, "Well, they don't care," well, when you say that and not do anything, you're basically condoning it. Okay? You need to take action, push back against your senators and representatives, especially in the red states. Red states, they're all in the same boat you and I are. So that's when we need to push back. And we want to have a Congress that works. Push back against Taco Donnie. And I wish we had a snapshot election now. Just to push back. We don't want any more of this crap. Okay? People are having a hard enough time now because of this stupid shutdown. Congress, reopen the government. Hello? Stop your excuses, especially to you, Johnson. You're the one creating the excuses. I'm very ashamed of you. You shouldn't be Speaker. I think the Speaker should be Hakeem Jeffries. Now, I know him. He would whip this back into shape so fast it wouldn't be even funny. Okay? Yes, I'm a little upset about all this that's going on. I mean, anybody would be. So, they need to muzzle Taco Donnie. Okay? They need to muzzle and remove Stephen Miller from the Oval Office. Muzzle him. And get somebody there that does know what works and what needs to be done. And current Congress needs to grow a spine. If they don't, they're going to be in worse trouble. Because don't they realize bullies don't always have a code of honor? So, guys, come on. Do the impeachment now. If you don't, I'm talking about the MAGAs, if you don't start talking to Democrats and done, then we'll lock you out of the chambers, we'll do the impeachment, and you guys will be locked out of the chambers for good. And then you will be expelled from Congress. And that's what really should happen. Expel them from Congress. And then recall the aircraft carrier, order them back to where they're really the true interests that we're supposed to be protected. Okay. There is a strong need to, I'm keeping an eye on my time, there's a strong need to push back on Trump. I mean, really kick him back. Do another No Kings protest. And put it out there with a big sign saying, if you don't do this, in other words, list of things that Trump needs to do. Say, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Trump is acting like a little toddler, is what he's acting like. He's a 4-year-old brat. And he lets things get under your skin and everything else. He didn't like being laughed at. He didn't like this and he didn't like that. And he didn't like Canada's sense of humor. I love the way Canada, how they're doing it. Way to go, guys. Love you, Canada. It's been ages since I've been up there. Okay. I used to love going up to Victoria in Vancouver area. It's really beautiful. I even took a train trip across there. Beautiful country. But those guys now know how to make things work for them. Okay? They don't allow, get this with Canada and the UK and Australia, they don't allow corporations to tell them what to do. Government what to do is the other way around. And they don't allow corporations to vote. Only individuals could vote, but corporations can't dictate elections. That's another thing that needs to be done. We need to have stronger teeth for the Federal Elections Commission. Okay? So, if people say or preaching to the choir and I go, can I ask you this? What are you doing to push back? Now, I live in a blue state. I don't have to worry about things like this, okay? I love living in a blue state. I'm thanking God that I live in a blue state. Red states, you guys need to wake up and kick some butts. Okay? Those that are Trump supporters, you need to educate yourselves. What's really happening. Read 1440 newsletter. Now, that's very factual. Those guys really put the facts out there. And come on, let's do this. Let's really push back and push back hard. I'm doing it through my podcast. That's how I push back. Okay? And something needs to be said. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share on my YouTube channel. Okay? I need more subscribers. So be sure to share. I have a moderator on my YouTube channel, and I also have a moderator here. And Nancy, if you can moderate on my Facebook for now. So far, I haven't had any problems, and I have really good security on this. So anyway, I want you guys to have a good weekend. Let me check my calendar real quick. Let's see. Calendar. Okay, I will see you on October 27th, which is a Monday. Stay safe. Keep your eye to the sky. Mother Nature's not done with us yet. And on the personal side, the good news in my apartment complex, the state inspectors are here to inspect our new elevator. So I hope it will be back in service, I hope, this weekend. I really do hope. Because it's hard for me to go up and down the stairs now because of my knee. So a lot of my neighbors are limited on mobility, and they rely on their scooters and their everything else to get around the campus. So hasn't been easy, but we hope that done by this weekend. I talked to my landlord. She said I hope it'll be activated today. She really does. So anyway, I will see you on Monday. Take care. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back. Encourage your friends and MAGA people that you know, push back. They really need to push back on this. Okay? And also put an ultimatum to the senators and, the enablers in Congress. They enabled Trump in Congress and say, if you don't straighten up and do things correctly, you'll be out of a job. And we will get people in there that know how to do their job. So anyway, I will see you guys on Monday. Take care. Love to all. Bye-bye.